Okay, here's part 3 of 19. I'm actually going to read this. This is How to Avoid Doing Bad Advertising by Jay Chiat. And that's interesting, how to avoid doing bad advertising. I'm going to read this, and if anyone wants a scan of this, ask me. I know I've got some friends who seem to worship Ogilvy, David Ogilvy, and I understand that. But Ogilvy is, to me, more fuddy-duddy, and Jay's more youthful. How to Avoid Doing Bad Advertising by Jay Chiat. Some of the perks you get after you've been around long enough include invitations to speak at some fairly exotic places. The International Creative Conference at Ibiza, Spain, was one I found impossible to turn down, even if it did conflict with the Four A's convention at the Greenbrier. Ed McCabe had represented the U.S. the previous year. I phoned him to find out some details and what some of the problems of addressing a non-English speaking audience might be. In irrepressible McCabe style, he said, "Do 10 minutes, ask if there are any questions, and then go to Mallorca for the weekend." Naturally, when I arrived and was given the program, I quickly noticed I had been slotted for 2 hours. Stretching 10 minutes of notes into a 2-hour segment was achieved only because of the length of the Spanish translation. Cuando el pueblo no puede escribir ni leer, es tan fácil engañar. I had asked for a subject to talk about. It's always easier to put a speech together after they've told you what the audience might be interested in hearing. In my case, the instructions were simple. Tell them how you do your work. Have you ever tried to actually figure out how you work? Not an easy task, but from it came the actual title of my talk, How to Avoid Doing Bad Advertising. Wow, I used to have a video of Jay Chiat giving a speech somewhere, and it's kind of, with apologies, he's kind of like dry. But what's the next thing he says here? With apologies to David Ogilvy, here are the Chiat Day rules. 1. Realize early that your agency cannot work for everyone. 2. Recognize there are no shortcuts. It's hard work to do great advertising. 3. Hire only those you believe can do the job better than you can. It not only makes the work brighter, it makes you work brighter. 4. Fire quickly and decisively those who do not measure up. They contaminate the agency by making good people question their judgment. I used to work at a place where people would just say, rule number 4, and I'd say, Number 5, recognize that all your people have creative capabilities and demand creativity from all departments. Most agencies say they welcome ideas from anyone. When you demand creativity from everyone, things are different. 6, make sure your account management people are smart marketers. It takes brilliant marketing support to quiet client nervousness. That's because if you present really scary ideas, you need people to make people feel better. 7, never stop at the first creative solution. Explore alternatives. 8, dig for the facts. Interview relentlessly. Your research must be unquestioned. 9, know your target better than you know yourself. 10, make sure there is a clear, concise, creative brief written for every ad. Yes, every ad. 11, treat all advertising equal. The trade is as important as the TV commercial, perhaps more so. 12, do not permit closet accounts. If the work is not good enough to show new business prospects, the account is not good enough to keep. I think I've memorized most of these. 13, spend time training. Do not assume that people automatically understand what's expected of them. 14, promote from within when possible, but do not hesitate to seek experience elsewhere if it is lacking at the agency. 15, treat everyone with the same level of dignity you expect yourself. Jay, that's very funny. 16, perhaps most important, try to relax and have some fun. Ogilvy's rules are okay, but they're kind of like the Ten Commandments. It's like you really needed to write these down and people couldn't think of this on their own. I mean, not all of them, but most of them are pretty standard. These are a little more interesting. At least I think so. What do you think?